Alright, I'm going to be checking voltage drop in this headlight circuit. What I'm going to be doing is taking this headlight out. This is the connection point for the headlight. You see our wires come in there. Then we've got terminals going into the housing right here. I pulled up a wiring diagram on the circuit. I found that our power wires are yellow and our ground wire is white. So here, if I unplug this headlight, move this out of the way. Back of this connector, you can see our one is high beam, one is low beam, and then here's our ground. So to test voltage drop, we're going to be going from, we need to check the positive side of the circuit, the negative side of the circuit, and possibly just across positive and negative of this connection if we were needed to check the voltage drop of this component itself. Alright, we've got our jumper wire connected to our positive terminal. I'm going to come over to our headlight, make sure it's on. To check voltage drop, the circuit has to be operational. I'll turn my headlights on, high beams on. Alright, so we're going to check the power side of the high beam circuit. I've got the other end of my jumper wire hooked to my lead, my positive lead on my multimeter. Turn it on volts. There's my positive terminal for my high beam circuit. Hold that there. Get a good connection. It's gonna jump around until you get a nice solid connection. I got 1 volt. So since we had 1 volt of voltage drop on the high beam circuit, we would go through and follow the high beams all the way through and find how many connections are in that immediate circuit. So how many components or connectors that the high beam wire goes through. If we add all of those up, we have to have at least 10 connections for 1 volt to be okay. On that terminal that I was testing for the high beams, I saw some corrosion. So also at that connection, you want to make sure you have a clean connection there and there's not corrosion blocking. And sometimes I would get a steady 0.5 volts out of that if I was on a cleaner part of the terminal. So really, you need to make sure that the very things you're testing aren't corroded, because that could throw your reading off too. Okay, to test the negative side of our high beam circuit, we just moved our clamp. We had it over here for positive. Now we just go to the negative post of the battery. We're gonna go to our negative terminal where our ground goes through. That white wire goes back there to this left side terminal. So I'm gonna get a solid connection there. Yeah, I'm only getting about 0.1 volts, so 100 millivolts. That's perfectly fine. There isn't very many connections on the ground side of this circuit. Now we can test just the light bulb itself. We go from positive to negative on the light bulb. Hook our negative up here. Get our positive to our positive side of our high beam circuit. With a good solid connection, I'm reading about 200 millivolts, so that's 0.2 volts just across this headlight itself. Again, that's probably because that corroded terminal right there, you can see the buildup right there. So if we got a wire brush and maybe some baking soda solution or with water, with the circuit not functioning, of course, turning the circuit off, clean that, we would probably have less voltage drop. Also, this might not affect the circuit as much as it affects my reading, because I'm touching on the outside surface of that terminal. But if we did clean that up, we would have most likely brighter headlights. You can see this one's pretty bright. You go over here, this one's dim. If we were to test that, we'd probably have even higher voltage drop in that. These headlight housings aren't very water resistant, so water can easily seep down into these cracks. Just get on the back of that headlight housing and corrode the terminals. So that's most likely the problem with this and the other, since I saw some buildup on that one. When I unplug this, you can see this is pretty dirty. Got some corrosion going on. It's pretty green and rusty, dirty. So that all can affect our connections and cause higher voltage drop.